It's November 6, 2023. Here's the latest on the Israel-Hamas conflict. The Palestinian death toll has now climbed to 9,061, including 3,067 children, as reported by the Gaza Health Ministry. I'm Esmeralda Padilla-Gould, and welcome to The Pulse. My co-host and FILAMTV partner, Uncle Sam, is currently in the Philippines for business. According to the PBS NewsHour, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Friday to advocate for a humanitarian pause in the ongoing conflict with Hamas. Simultaneously, Israeli forces have been tightening their encirclement of Gaza City. Tensions have also escalated along the northern border with Lebanon in anticipation of a speech by Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed ally of Hamas. This marks his first public speech since the recent Hamas attacks on Israel, raising concerns that the conflict might expand regionally.
We have breaking news. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is delivering remarks in Tel Aviv after meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's listen.
Cabinet. I reiterated and made clear our support for Israel's right to defend itself, indeed its obligation to defend itself. That includes through the additional assistance that we've worked with Congress and we're working with Congress now to provide for Israel's defense, as well as for urgent humanitarian needs in Gaza. This right to self-defense, indeed this obligation to self-defense, belongs to every nation. No country could or should tolerate the slaughter of innocents. You've heard me speak to some of the stories that Israelis have experienced on October 7th. Today, we saw additional images, additional footage collected by the Israeli government from video cameras, some the terrorist zone, others in communities that were attacked. It remains almost beyond the human capacity to process, to digest. Over the last several days, U.S. citizens, foreign nationals, and critically wounded Palestinian civilians have begun to transit out of Gaza. We expect more to leave over the coming days. Even as these people are able to exit Gaza, we remain relentlessly focused on securing the release of hostages, including American citizens. We discussed these ongoing efforts today. Our Deputy Special Representative for Hostage Affairs, Steve Gillen, who came with me on my first visit a couple of weeks ago, has remained here on the ground to help bring our people home and also to work with their families.
Even before Secretary Blinken's arrival, the Israeli Defense Forces declared the completion of their encirclement of Gaza's largest city. This development signals a new phase in the month-long conflict against Hamas. Despite being home to around 500,000 Palestinians, Gaza City is described by the IDF as the center of the Hamas terror organization. The conflict is now shifting towards urban and underground warfare, with Hamas utilizing a tunnel complex believed to span hundreds of kilometers. Israel continues to express its determination to destroy Hamas as the death toll rises due to this unprecedented attack. Israeli officials confirmed on Monday that over 700 Israeli civilians and military personnel have lost their lives since Hamas launched this unprecedented attack on Israel from Gaza early Saturday morning, with another 2,150 wounded. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families affected by this ongoing conflict.
Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
Meanwhile, in Southeast Asia, Myanmar nationals urged Philippines to investigate alleged war crimes. 5 Myanmar nationals have called on the Philippines to investigate alleged war crimes reportedly committed by 10 current or former members of Myanmar's military against the predominantly Christian Chin minority. Lawyers representing these individuals lodged a groundbreaking criminal complaint against Junta Chief Min Aung Hlaing and 9 others at the Department of Justice in Manila. They have requested an investigation into these alleged war crimes under Philippine law, which penalizes crimes against international humanitarian law, genocide, and other crimes against humanity. The complainants, originally from Western Chin State, but now residing in Australia, Britain, Canada, and India, brought their case to the Philippines in a historic move. Justice Secretary Crispin Remulla confirmed that his department would assess the complaint, emphasizing its novelty. The accused include Chin Chief Minister Vang Suang Tang, a former military officer, and other serving military personnel. The complaint alleges that members of Myanmar's military killed a pastor and 2 church elders in Tantang Town, Chin, in September 2021. It also accuses the 10 individuals of intentionally directing attacks on churches and burning hundreds of houses in the same town between August 2021 and June 2022. Additionally, they are alleged to have obstructed relief supplies from reaching people in Chin State following Cyclone Mocha in May. Notably, Philippine law allows for the prosecution of war crimes committed outside the country, provided the accused are present in the Philippines. If the Philippine Justice Department decides to pursue a case against the 10 individuals, it can issue subpoenas to Myanmar's Central Authority or engage in diplomatic channels. This legal action comes in the context of ongoing unrest in Myanmar following the 2021 coup that ousted Aung San Suu Kyi's civilian government. Some of the fiercest fighting has occurred in Christian-majority regions, including Chin State. Salai Ling, one of the complainants and a representative of the Chin Human Rights Organization, expressed hope that the support of the Filipino people and the ASEAN region would lead to justice for the atrocities suffered by their people. Both Myanmar and the Philippines are part of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which has struggled to address the Myanmar crisis. Furthermore, the Philippines is currently under international scrutiny as the International Criminal Court in The Hague is investigating possible crimes against humanity during the deadly drug crackdown under former President Rodrigo Duterte. President Ferdinand Marcos has indicated the Philippines' reluctance to cooperate with the ICC's investigation.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
FBI raid on Adams' ally raises questions of corruption for Mayor Eric Adams. Mayor Eric Adams, who has grappled with ethics issues for years, faces a significant challenge following a raid on his chief fundraiser's home. Despite his ascent in New York City politics to become mayor, concerns linger over ethical matters and his associations with individuals with questionable past. His fundraising strategies have repeatedly skirted the boundaries of campaign finance and ethics laws, drawing attention and sparking investigations into his relationships with donors. Several donors and a former Billings commissioner have faced indictments. While Mayor Adams, a moderate Democrat in his second year in office, has not been personally implicated in any wrongdoing, a broad public corruption investigation involving his chief fundraiser and his 2021 campaign has brought the issue closer to his doorstep. Federal agents conducted a raid at the Brooklyn home of Brianna Suggs, Mr. Adams' top fundraiser, focusing on whether the mayor's campaign conspired with the Turkish government to receive illegal foreign donations. Mayor Adams typically distances himself from investigations related to those in his outer circle. But in this case, he returned from Washington, D.C., where he was set to discuss the migrant crisis with White House officials and Congress to oversee the inquiry. This move could be perceived as prioritizing the investigation over pressing policy matters, possibly undermining his efforts to secure more federal funding for New York City. Political experts suggest that the timing is unfavorable for the mayor. Mayor Adams values loyalty and maintains a close inner circle of advisors, many of whom are expected to participate in his re-election campaign. Brianna Suggs, in particular, has played a pivotal role in fundraising, claiming to have brought in millions of dollars for his campaigns. The mayor's substantial fundraising has been an attempt to deter potential Democratic primary challengers in the 2025 mayoral race, despite his unpopularity among liberal and progressive Democrats seeking an alternative candidate from the left. The raid and ensuing investigation may encourage potential candidates to challenge Mayor Adams in the 2025 race. While the election is still a distance away, the scandal's proximity to the mayor is a growing concern. While some observers, like former City Council Speaker Christine Quinn, do not see the raid altering their political plans, others, like State Senator Zelnor Mayri, have received increased interest in their potential mayoral candidacy. Mayor Adams' supporters have defended him against the scrutiny, suggesting potential racial motivations behind the investigations. However, his history of ethical issues and ties to individuals with questionable backgrounds stretches back many years. The mayor's close ties to people with problematic records, including those involved in criminal cases, have contributed to the perception of ethical concerns throughout his political career. Amidst this backdrop, the question arises, how much corruption is too much for New Yorkers? And will these ongoing investigations have a lasting impact on Mayor Adams' political future? I guess we have yet to find out.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
party, which has traditionally enjoyed support from military voters for many years, is currently experiencing a decline in popularity among uniformed officers and personnel. This decrease in support can be attributed to the actions of Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who has been blocking the confirmation of top-ranking military appointments in U.S. Senate. According to a report from Politico magazine, Republican senators attempted to confirm 60 military nominees last Wednesday in a direct challenge to their fellow GOP member. Tommy Tuberville, who is steadfastly refusing to back down from his blockage of promotions, this move led by Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska marks a significant confrontation within the GOP, as more Republicans are publicly expressing their resistance to Tuberville's actions. Tuberville's blockage on military officer confirmations and promotions is motivated by his desire to pressure the Defense Department into overturning its policy of covering the cost of troops' travel for seeking an abortion. Senator Sullivan of Alaska has joined GOP Senators Joni Ernst of Iowa, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Todd Young of Indiana, and Mitt Romney of Utah in requesting votes on each senior officer by unanimous consent over several hours. This rare Republican-on-Republican clash has seen Tuberville block each of his colleagues' requests. Senator Sullivan emphasized that Tuberville's tactics are harming the military at a critical time in the world, and the idea that some officers are perceived as woke or desk jockeys is unfounded. He referred to the situation as a national security suicide. As the group concluded their efforts late Wednesday night, Sullivan's message to military officers was simple: hang in there, according to the same report by Politico. During the lengthy floor fight on Wednesday, Sullivan and his colleagues called up each nominee by name, totaling 61 in all, extolling their qualifications and seeking consent to vote for their confirmation. Sullivan noted several times that Tuberville had previously agreed to votes on individual nominees. However, Tuberville remains unyielding, insisting that the Pentagon must repeal the abortion policy before he releases his hold. He dismissed arguments from fellow senators who claimed that his actions were negatively impacting military readiness, particularly in the face of crises such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Israel's conflict with Hamas. Sullivan countered Tuberville's argument, asserting that the readiness of the military is indeed being impacted, and he emphasized the dangerous state of the world. By the end of last week, on Thursday, the Senate easily confirmed President Biden's selections for the top officers in the Navy and Air Force, as frustration with Senator Tuberville mounted. In a vote of 95-1, Admiral Lisa Franchetti was confirmed as Chief of Naval Operations and General David Alvin as Air Force Chief of Staff. The only senator to oppose both confirmations was Republican Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas, while 4 other senators were not present in the chamber to vote. It's worth noting that Admiral Lisa Franchetti is the first female member of the Joint Chiefs.
Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
to a report from Reuters, Arkansas, a major U.S. chicken producer has reported its first outbreak of lethal avian flu in a commercial poultry flock in a year, as the nation witnesses an uptick in cases of the bird flu. This outbreak is expected to lead to expanded export restrictions on U.S. poultry, especially in major producing states, as buyers are limiting purchases from infected areas. The disease has infected a flock of 31,600 breeder pullets, or young hens, which are used for meat production in Madison County, Arkansas, as reported by the U.S. Department of Agriculture last week. Arkansas, the third largest producer of chickens raised for meat, had previously experienced an outbreak on a commercial farm in the same county in October 2022. Avian flu has resulted in the loss of more than 60 million U.S. chickens, turkeys, and other birds since 2022. It has spread to new regions. Cases tend to increase during the spring and autumn's migrations of wild birds, which transmit the virus, leading to culling of infected poultry flocks to prevent the disease from spreading. We have taken immediate action to contain the disease, stated Arkansas Agriculture Secretary Wes Ward. In Alabama, the second largest U.S. producer of chickens for meat, it was confirmed 2 weeks ago that the first outbreak at a commercial farm affected a flock of 296,500 game birds, according to the U.S. government. Mexico, the largest export market for U.S. chicken, promptly blocked poultry shipments from the infected county. So if you notice a sudden increase in chicken prices at your local supermarket, the avian flu crisis may be to blame. Recall the controversial rise in chicken egg prices 18 months ago and stay vigilant when you shop in the coming days or weeks. That's all the time we have for today. Please join us again next week for The Pulse. I'm Esmeralda Padilla-Gould, and Mr. Sam Buban will be back next week. Have a blessed week.
Enjoy FILAMTV Network on KGNG 26.8 Las Vegas and www.filamtv.us. Search for and download FILAMTV Network in Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Download the WCE TV app from smartphones and search for FILAMTV.
We use headphones as a part of our everyday lives. Whether we're at work, getting exercise, meditating, in transit, studying, practicing, or relaxing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Sway, the founder of Aircom. I would like to introduce the world's first wireless airflow audio earbuds. As a festival and a concert junkie, I really enjoy the live experience of being there and feeling the music. When we started developing Airflow, our goal was to reproduce that live experience using earbuds.
The problem with traditional headphones is that the speakers are located inside of the earpiece, literally giving you centimeters before the audio hits your eardrum.
What Aircom is doing, they're the first company to actually address the fact that there needs to be a space involved associated with having the sound waves expand fully.
The difference between traditional headphones and Aircom audio is that the air tube gives you 8 times more space, allowing the sound waves to fully develop before they actually hit your eardrums. And this gives it a much more live, natural sound, just like in a recording studio.
It's real nice that someone actually addressed the physics associated with how sound comes out.
The challenge we had was to create an earbud with enough airspace for the sound to fully develop and breathe. Unfortunately, traditional earbuds are about the size of a jelly bean, and there's just not enough airspace. However, that changed when we developed Airflow Audio. Airflow uses an air tube to deliver 6 to 8 times more airspace than traditional earbuds. The end result is a true live listening experience, just like you're at a festival or a concert. We also added magnets to the back of the earpieces so you can wear it around your neck when you're not using it.
Being that the drivers are 8 inches from the earpiece, the magnets do not affect the integrity of the sound at all.
The orange line represents the frequency transmitting through the wire to the speaker, which then converts to the blue sound wave that develops more as it travels up the air tube, producing a balanced, full body and live listening experience.
Another really cool feature is that these earbuds are sweat-proof and water-resistant because they're coated with a super hydrophobic nanotechnology. So now you can be on a skateboard or riding a motorcycle and listen to music as if you were watching a live show or actually in a recording studio.
We're coming to you for help in bringing these unparalleled earbuds to market.